Welcome to the Jay and Brian Show, the fastest growing talk show podcast in America. Join Jay and Brian for unscripted, thought-provoking, and entertaining conversations about life, business, and the world we live in. Tune in as they spotlight influential communicators, business leaders, and personalities from sports to entertainment. Here now, Jay and Brian.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Jay and Brian Show, powered by My City Lender Home Loans, a refreshingly simple way to get a home loan, residential or commercial. We're super excited today to have Taylor Sage in the house. Taylor is head trainer at F45. So today's conversation, we're going to really kind of get into physical fitness and health and well-being. And
what a great time of year to do that. Taylor, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
F45 is my gym, and Taylor's one of the trainers, but she's always...
Now, Brian doesn't own the gym.
I don't own the gym, no.
Neither do I.
Okay.
Neither do I.
Although it's so awesome going to F45 every day. And by the way...
It's like the gym owns you.
I do absolutely intend to make this about selling F45 because I love it. And during the show, I'm going to tell my story about how I got there and everything. But Taylor, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Excited to have you here.
And I love being here, and I love F45 clearly. That's why I'm here. So.
Yep, absolutely. So tell us how long you've been at F45.
I've been at F45 for 2 years in April.
Okay.
So a little over a year and a half.
Okay, and how long have you been in the Valley here?
I moved here in 2020, so almost 3 years, 2.5.
Okay.
So not too long, but long enough to love it.
Okay, awesome. And then I know that Kyle and Sunny, they've opened up, there's another studio that they've also opened up. So they just have the two at this point, is that right?
Correct. They have the F45 Gilbert of the 202 and then the Bacons of Queen Creek.
Okay, awesome. Any plans for more expansion at this point? Or?
I'm sure that's definitely their way.
Yeah. Yeah, they're real go-getters. They're trying to put together a whole, F45 is just, part of the overall health and wellness offering that they have. And but head trainer, that's a big job. So tell our audience about what the head trainer job means at F45.
Head trainer just means that you're the face of that studio or both of their studios, right? Mm-hmm. So you coach hundreds of people a week. That's 20 classes. Mm-hmm. And the classes you come to have like 30 to 35 people in them. And that's like 300 people in 10 classes. So you see, anywhere up to 500 people in 1 week, and you're coaching them to be bigger and better people. Mm-hmm. As head trainer, you have to be not only inspirational for yourself, but you have to be inspiring to others to get up and do more than just the workout, to go outside and change their lives more than just the 45 minutes that I see you.
So what do you recommend when we're not at the gym and we're not working out in terms of other activities outside the gym?
Just keep moving. Do whatever makes you happy. Sitting at a desk, I promise, doesn't make you happy.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
I think a lot of people think that they can do their 45-minute exercise, and they absolutely, you get benefit from that, mm-hmm. but that's it. And then they go about their day and maybe don't do anything else. So
45 minutes is about 4% of your whole day.
Right.
And when did 4% change
4%.
Anything?
Yeah, that's not much.
4% on a quiz is a big fat F. So if you only did 4%, then you wouldn't see very much results. It does absolutely help, but you need more than 4%.
So what is it about F45 that you love so much?
Well, I personally, if I didn't train there, I'd be there. It's functional. It's fun. The music's fun. The coaches is fun. The workouts are fun. It's always different, and it's always challenging, always. I've been doing it for 18 months, and I still don't know what to expect, and I work there, which is amazing. And it's always pushing me, and it's never gets easier because you're always pushing yourself harder.
Why do you think people struggle so much staying in a physical routine or staying with the gym? I know this personally because my whole adult life I've been in and out of mostly out, and this is where F45 comes in. My wife, it was like a Friday night, and she goes, "By the way, you're coming to F45 with me tomorrow morning." She could see, I'm mid-40s and 3 boys, and I need to keep up with them and trying to backpack and mountain biking and all that. And she could see that I just wasn't getting enough overall exercise. And so she invited me that morning, and I instantly loved it. Kyle was running the studio, or at least my class that day. And he didn't hesitate right after class. He's like, "So what do you think? What do you think? What are you coming back?" And I was like, "Hell yes, I love this." It's all figured out for you. Mm-hmm. So you show up, and the great trainers take you through all the different exercises, And then when you're doing it, they're coming around and they're motivating you in really direct ways sometimes. It's pretty fun. And motivate you as well, keep it going. You got this. And then over time, I've made good friends. I mean, just shout out to Steve, Eric, Mark, Ian, Ryan, Matt, Chad, some others that it's one of the reasons I enjoy going besides not having to think about it.
So like a community.
Absolutely, it is.
It's just an overall vibe.
When's the next
as
happy
soon as
hour?
You walk in.
By the way, I don't know. Have we had one in a while?
Whenever I make it.
Okay.
When should we have one?
That would be a
there
cool
you go.
idea.
Decisions are happening
no
right
shower
now.
happy hour. ASAP.
Yeah, that would
Everyone else stay away.
because I think
Come
it
at
would
your
be
own risk.
it'd be a lot of
that's
fun
right.
to get together offline.
Don't get too close.
I mean, at your own risk.
Air hugs.
High fives.
Yeah.
Fist bump.
And of course, it would be a trip because we all only know each other when we're working out and
Right.
in workout mode and workout clothes and
All sweaty and nasty.
Don't you dare
Yeah.
wear real people clothes.
Be
to
fun
this
to-
event. I don't want to see you.
show up for happy hour and we're all actually looking nice and
Yeah.
So Taylor, I have a question for you.
Okay.
So as the lead trainer, how do you maintain your motivation?
Good question.
I mean, I read constantly, and my boss keeps me motivated. How I'm supposed to keep my coworkers motivated as well.
But to maintain that level of motivation for yourself regularly,
Like inside
That's
the
gotta
gym
be-
or outside
That's
the
gotta
gym?
be tough. I mean, because it's your passion, but it's also your work.
But it's my passion.
So
Like, I
it's
get up
just
at-
working together.
I
then?
get up at 3:45 every single day.
Oh my gosh.
Like
Wow.
I'm in the gym by 4:30, and I get to people watch and play amazing music all day long. And I have like 20 minutes between classes where I shake it out and go again, right? And I can change at least one person's life or a day in every single class, and that's the motivation for that class, to make somebody smile, somebody laugh, and somebody to learn something.
That's it. The music's awesome.
I love it.
I mean, you can totally groove with it while you're working out. That's another thing that I love. So many things I love about it. It's turned me into a morning person. So I was never a morning person. I always made the excuse, well, I'm not a morning person. And I'll just go at lunchtime or I'll go after work. And then, inevitably, I've got this lunch meeting opportunity or this, and then after
It's anything
and then
else.
after work, it's, all the kids' activities. And so I've joined gyms and then pretty soon I just don't go anymore because I'm not going consistently. So it's turned me into a morning person, which in and of itself has changed me completely. I realized, I knew going into it because I'm now 47 years old and I've experienced enough life to know what's going to work and what's not going to work. If I don't go consistently, I will not keep going. So I got to get up in the morning because I can go consistently in the morning because there is nothing else that needs my attention between 5:30 and 7 o'clock when I get back. Nothing. And so I can go 5 days a week easily. I mean, occasionally something comes up, but it's very, very rare. And so the consistency part has really what has, I think, kept me going, aside from all the other things that I mentioned. But just a really cool experience.
That's cool. This time of year it's really cool to have these kind of conversations. But, I think especially like right now, we're middle of February. January has passed. All the New Year's resolutions
Have given up.
Are they resolving at this point, or are they dissolving at this
They're
point?
dissolving. They've already dissolved.
Already
unfortunately.
dissolved. Okay.
So
It
we
takes
wanted
21 days to create a habit, and it's been more than that, and nobody has any new habits.
Yeah, so my original concept for the show is to have Taylor on either late December when people are starting to think about their New Year's resolutions or in the beginning of January. But the reality is that New Year's resolutions are kind of dumb, right?
Why wait till the end of the year to make a resolution that you can just start right now?
Well, especially when it comes to health and fitness, because it needs to be just ingrained in your life, right?
It's always a good time.
It's not.
It's always a good time to resolve to health, right? And fitness,
yeah,
diet.
you should be recreating yourself every single day. It's not like you have to wait till January 1st or February 1st or the 1st of the month or Monday. You should wait never and just go now.
Like that.
Yeah, don't go tomorrow, go today. Don't wait until Monday.
And so you guys have started a new personal training thing, and I haven't asked you about it yet, but I figured I would ask you about it on our show. What's that all about? Why should somebody who's already an F45 person? Why would they? What do they benefit by taking it to the next step and going with
I would
personal
say
training?
one of two reasons. One, F45 is a lot. right? There's a lot of things that happen. There's a lot of the same core movements, hip hinge, squat, cleans, those types of things where you see them every single week. And some new people, if they don't get the proper intro to class, if they always come in right when class starts, they never really truly know what they're doing. So for instance, the lady I told today, I was like, how would you like to spend 4 sessions with me this month? Learn. And if you want to keep going, then keep going. If not, you're only going to benefit from 2 hours total with me saying, now I know what to do when I walk up to the skier instead of feed the handles down to my hands and then pull. Like how does it work? Like what's the whole point behind it? And then the other one would be like, for instance, if somebody wanted to see results faster and they wanted more specific training, like I want to get a bigger butt or better shoulders, those types of things where I can show them key tips and tricks on how to even do it at their house or even implement it while they're at the gym to make those 45 minutes even better.
And I can attest to getting there on time too, because there's a lot of different exercises in each class. And so it really matters. Even doing that, there's still times where I'll get to a station, I'm like, wait, what was I supposed to do? And I'll spend 5 or 10 seconds looking at the board trying to figure it out, what the move is. But you minimize that by making sure that you're there on time. But speaking of that, so I normally pull into the parking lot. I'm going to put you on the spot here a little. I normally pull into the parking lot at about 6 o'clock or so, and I snooze in the car for maybe the next 5 to 7 minutes, and I'm usually walking in at like 6:08 to 6:10. I walked in at 6:10 this morning, and you already had everybody pulled into the studio. Normally it's like 6:12 or so.
They were all ready to go. Sometimes they're like, come on, let's go. I'm like, all right. The sooner we start, the better. Technically, class doesn't start until 6:15, but we can go in there and party if you want. Last week I made him do burpees before class. You guys got 20 burpees. Let's go.
Wow.
So
harsh. First thing, just like that, just for showing up. But that's warm up.
That's the warm up.
Okay, so they weren't late. This wasn't like a punishment. Okay.
No, they get that too. They get burpees for giving up.
What? Wow.
You gave up 5 seconds early. You have a burpee.
Dang.
Let's go.
Man, that's brutal.
It's 4% of your day.
It's awesome.
Can't you work hard?
I don't know, man. Oh man.
See, that's another important part of I think having a successful gym and having people that want to stick around, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know, maybe some people might react differently to it, but having a trainer who's like so on top of it and like, let's go, let's do this, let's be here on time is actually motivating. And it makes you feel a little accountable maybe as well.
Absolutely.
Which is also
and like
really
you said,
cool.
I'm passionate about it. And if I can't get you to be passionate about it, I'm going to damn near try. So
it's like commitment to a whole nother level.
Absolutely.
That's a mark of a good leader, right?
It is.
And you have to commit to yourself. If you're not going to commit to yourself at the gym, why would you commit anywhere else?
Interesting.
I'm the perfect example.
That's the truth bomb right there. Just brought it.
I mean, so I've been coming a year and a half. I looked at my total count this morning just before I came in. I was at 267, realizing I'm still a ways off from, Club 500 that has like 2 or 3 signatures on it at this point. But I don't know how many people, do you have any idea of how many people drop out before even 100 sessions? Or, my sense is it's got real staying power because nobody that I've met has left.
The reason that people leave generally from F45 is they can't drive there anymore. They usually move.
Oh, okay.
They usually move and it's way too far.
So it's a logistical thing.
That's the only real reason I truly get.
Nobody just vanishes February 15th. They're not like.
No, and if you haven't been in 2 weeks, I personally call you.
Oh, nice.
Okay, where you been? When can I see you next?
So my wife, Sarah, just shout out to my wife.
Yeah.
So I think she hit the 500 mark. Maybe
she's probably. I think she hit it this morning.
Maybe today.
Did she really?
This morning.
Wow, congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah, the bell for Sarah.
Yeah.
Good job, honey.
Ding ding. Nice job, Sarah.
Yeah. There's a good number of people on the 250 in the 250 club now, but
500 probably has 5.
Yeah, there's only
people.
Yeah, on one hand. Yeah.
She's diehard.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She's always there.
So how do you motivate a client that is discouraged about their progress? So maybe they've been coming there for a little while and feeling like they're either not accomplishing their goal or they're not getting there fast enough. How do you motivate that person?
I will probably ask them where they started and where they are now. One, they're probably moving better and lifting stronger than they were the first time that they came in, right? So that's one, oh yeah, you're right. I went from gray to red. That is a huge success. And then if there's no change in your outside world, how can you expect to see changes in here? It's not all done in the gym. Like I said, again, it's 4% of your day. You have to change your diet to make a difference in your overall physique. And if you're not going to change it at home, then I can't help you. I'm sorry, I just can't. And you have to change your head in what goes on in your mind before you can change your body.
So
what?
Go
Sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say. So what kind of response do you get from that? Like,
I hope you can see my face.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
Like, for instance, I said to this lady this week, I was like, you're like kicking booty in here, like, but you physically haven't changed very much. She's like, well, I won't give up eating. And I was like, then you're never going to change.
You're dismissed.
Yep. Bye.
Well,
see you later. Try again next time.
So real honesty time now. So I feel like I've hit a bit of a wall, and I know it's because of my nutrition. I know it. I'm way more far along fitness-wise than I was a year and a half ago, without question. Way more muscle strength, way more endurance, and shout out to my brother-in-law, who I love very much. I took him out mountain biking the other day. I've been mountain biking now for a few years, but only in tandem with F45 the last year and a half. And I can say without a doubt, my physical endurance out there and leg strength for completing longer climbs and lung capacity, that's all been absolutely helped by F45. And so I take my brother-in-law out, and it was a fun day. But he doesn't.
Fun for you.
He doesn't go to F45. Will, you need to go to F45. And I've also been riding a mountain bike for quite a while. But, the first 3 miles of the ride, I was pacing him because I didn't want to leave him behind. My son is like a rocket ship, and he's gone. I was like, like just
Out
like
for a casual.
not stretching my legs, really, not really challenging myself. And we get to about the 2.5 mile mark, and love you, Will, but he was dying, like just very short of, like you could tell, because he doesn't go to the gym like I do. And it really made me realize how much F45 has actually done for me to experience riding at a moderate pace, but not really being challenged by it. So thank you for helping me achieve that part of it yet. But
Absolutely.
I know that my nutrition, because I'm not showing
it takes a lot,
I'm not showing a
you gotta,
six pack. I was blessed with the, with I don't really have to worry too much about what I eat, Gene, to not gain too much weight. But I'm in my 40s now, and I can tell that I need to work harder to not grow that way. But that's
tough. I mean, the whole food prep thing is like, it's a whole thing.
That's my excuse.
I don't
have time for the food
It's
prep.
reality, though. I mean, but so how do you do that? Like, how do you really take the time, shop for the right food, prepare the food, all of it, cook it, and then clean up after it all? It's like it's a whole thing.
Make
And then
it simple.
Sprinkle some kids in there, and it's...
Well, I don't have kids. I just have to somewhat feed my boyfriend, maybe, and then my dog. Okay, so it's very, very simple. We eat chicken, ground turkey, rice, the pre-made salad kits from Fry's.
Oh, those are amazing.
Amazing. You rip it all, throw it together, 5 ounces of chicken, there's a 500-calorie meal full of
Beautiful.
protein. And you're full by the time you're done, right? So if you fill your diet with whole foods, you're going to be fuller longer for probably way less calories than anything out of a box in the freezer, which is very convenient for children. But what gets most parents in trouble is like, a lick here or a bite here, the extra chicken nugget here. And then all of a sudden they're 6 months, 1 year in, and they've been eating chicken nuggets every day on top of everything else that they're eating. But literally just keep it simple. This is
good
more simply keep
advice.
it.
Great advice.
great advice.
The gigantic thing of
And
chicken
it's
that you get
cheaper.
from Fry's, absolutely.
Like these,
Especially- yeah.
just like you said, if you make a salad like that and you
And those
prepare
salads
the chicken,
those salads are good.
they're good. But if you go to try to replace that salad out there at a drive-through place, $15.
Salad and go.
Salad and go, yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
$5.
That's good. Yeah.
Salad and go to.
Any
Love it.
So that works.
Any
Absolutely.
salads to stay away from?
Where?
Just type of salad or
Dressing. Dressing is what
Just
gets
stay
you.
away from the dressing.
Whatever it is, follow the serving size. People are like, ranch. I'm still going.
Well, so with
a little
ranch.
salad, yes.
With a little bit of salad. If it says 2 tablespoons for 90 calories, it better be 2 tablespoons for 90 calories.
Okay.
So it's usually the dressing and all the toppings that get people in trouble. It's more than just cheese and bacon. They put the avocado and the egg and all of this, and all their fats end up getting them in huge trouble, since fats are worth more than
Okay.
carbs and protein.
Good to know.
It's input
Yeah.
versus what do you guys always say in terms of managing your weight in general? But like it's
Calories in versus calories out.
calories in versus calories out. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's I don't really track that, and I know that I obviously because I'm not showing my six
Let
pack
me
yet after a year and a half.
ask you a question. Do you go into the month not knowing your financial budget?
No.
Then you should know your food budget. Silence.
I know. It's like,
Well, it's,
this is mind-blowing
my,
stuff.
my mind goes
I'm
to,
like-
well, but, are we talking about counting calories? Or are we,
Well, yeah, it's just a budget on a daily, right? If I give you 2,000 calories and you eat more than that, then you're going to gain weight.
Yeah.
No matter how much movement you do, you're going to gain weight.
So what about people like me? Like my issue is actually keeping the weight on.
You just
and
need-
so I need more.
Eat more.
Yeah.
You're one of the
but
lucky
I don't.
ones.
But I don't like eating. So like the stuff that I do eat, or when I do eat, it seems like
You got to make it count.
yeah. But I need more of it. So like if I don't like eating,
How much do you weigh?
more food? Between like 180 and 185 pounds
So
usually.
you should be eating at least 160 grams of protein, at least every single day.
yeah, I
to
don't think I'm
maintain
getting that. Yeah.
protein shakes, protein bars.
Yeah. I have all
Protein
that
in every
stuff.
meal.
I have all that stuff, but
You'd be surprised.
You've changed. Just mentioning the fries salad idea has completely. It's like light bulb.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
a real thing. It's a
I
real
always
deal.
think to myself, I could save money and I could be a lot healthier if I bring lunch here.
Yeah.
The days that we don't have a meeting or something off site, but like
Those salads are amazing. I mean, we do them a lot for dinner.
Yeah.
I'll cook like 5 pounds of chicken at once. Throw it all on the grill. Once it's done, put it all in the fridge, and then I use a pair of scissors to cut my chicken. Weigh it 5 ounces, put it in a little container, toss the salad and the chicken together, stir it, and call it a day.
5 ounces every time.
Depends on how hungry I am. Sometimes
they're-
4,
but they're-
sometimes 7.
But they're in 5-ounce servings.
I cut it up as I
you're
go.
weighing it as you do it.
As I go.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I
Gotcha.
I don't personally do that because what if I'm not in the mood for whatever I cooked?
Yeah.
Then I'll have something else. And my boyfriend eats a lot more than me. So
Wow.
So,
So you just cook it all at once? Are you freezing this food, or are you
No.
just in the fridge
And
and you're eating
we'll-
it within
a week.
a week? Okay.
Awesome. So a common question I get from my friends whenever I talk to them about F45 is, so how does it differ from like Orange Theory or some of these other places? Like what sets F45 apart
We're the most
from the others?
technologically advanced gym in the nation, and the trainers, right? So there are trainers in class giving you one-on-one attention. There's no mirrors, and you're there for the community. Orange Theory it's not really all that different. It's whatever floats your boat, right? F45 is functional training that can take with you for your whole life. You can do. We just had a guy turn 62 today, and he's doing F45s and kills it more than some of the younger kids that we have. But it's just like I said, whatever floats your boat. Some people love Burn Boot Camp for the girl hoorah. Some people love Orange Theory because they have treadmills, and other people love F45 because that's the place to be.
So my wife started out at Burn Boot Camp, and then she came over to F45, and I think one of the main reasons is that there's more weight-based exercising, especially for ladies who need
It's less jumping, I think. That's what I've heard.
less jumping, but more weight-based and resistance-based, right? So that because especially ladies who have to worry about calcium and bone density over time, that it actually helps them in that regard more to be doing weight training. Would you agree with that?
Sure. I've never done Burn or Orange Theory. So
Oh, okay.
I did a very small, like a one gym personal training thing back when I lived in Ohio, and it's not nationwide. So this is like my true group fitness introduction. Would be
Have you ever done
F45.
like the big box gym
I worked for an
thing?
Anytime Fitness.
Oh, anytime. Okay.
Yep. So I was a trainer there before I started at 45.
Okay. And that was that back in Ohio before
It
you
was
came out here? Oh,
it was
here.
down on McQueen and Riggs.
Okay. And so you went from there straight to F45 or? Okay.
Yep.
What was it that why?
When
If I can ask you that.
I originally went because I went and I put a barbell on my back and squatted and couldn't get up. Like I was stuck there, and thankfully I had somebody with me that could help me get up. Went to the chiropractor, and he said you should probably never axially load your spine like that again. There's no need for it. Why do you need to put 400 pounds on your back and squat?
Where you put it.
Yep.
Yep.
Why would you ever? That's not functional at all. You don't ever need to do that. And so I started looking like I will work for any time, but like go do my fitness somewhere else. And I found F45, and they were doing 2 free weeks. And front desk called me. They're like, "Hey, we need a credit card on file." And I said, "Are you hiring?" And they said yes. So Kyle, the owner, called me and he said, "Let's meet." And then the gym hadn't even opened yet. They didn't even have equipment at that point. They're like, "It's going to be that building right there, but we don't have any equipment. We'll call you when we have it." So then in the beginning of August, they called me and they're like, we need to teach you what F45 is, how to say sets, reps, laps, timing, those types of things. That way it doesn't seem so confusing for like you guys when you come in the first time.
Yep.
And then it was almost like a 2-week tryout.
It's never confusing. We just have to listen.
It's like it hits people in the
amazing.
forehead,
Open
falls
up.
right out.
It's early. I mean, that's pretty early.
Well,
So-
okay, but so how does the 6:15 do listening-wise compared to the 5 a.m. class? Because that seems like really early.
The 5 a.m. listens really well.
Huh.
Because they have really not much else to focus on other than me.
They never fell
The
asleep.
6
That's why they're still awake.
They're
from
actually
last
waking up
Yeah,
at that
yeah.
point. They're kind of listening. The 6:15 has had a cup of coffee and they have friends where they can talk.
I haven't had any coffee. Do you recommend coffee before working out?
It's whatever.
Caffeine?
What you vote.
No.
Usually,
What? Yeah. What is your?
I would suggest caffeine and like a banana, a simple carb that is
Okay.
easily digestible, like 30 minutes before.
Usually, I do pretty well throughout the whole exercise. I don't bonk, but every once in a while, I definitely bonk. And I was just wondering if there was
It's still early though.
Yeah.
It's still like that. The 5 a.m. I wouldn't eat. 6:15 probably wouldn't eat. I'd probably have a cup of coffee.
Really?
I
Personally.
like that. I'm going to try that. I'll be there tomorrow morning, by the way.
Great. So will I. So
I do
will
feel better. I do. I have the banana. I do that at like
Good,
5
yeah.
a.m. and then
Yeah.
I'm at the gym by like 5:30.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's about all I can eat. Otherwise, I'm like,
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I had pasta the other night before I went to the gym. I was like, this was a huge mistake.
I did a protein bar a couple weeks ago, just trying that out, the whole one, and that was kind of a mistake. It
I
felt.
would do half.
even in the morning.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would do half before and half
Yeah.
after,
Yeah. Okay.
personally.
And what do you recommend right afterwards? I mean, you
Just some sort of
Like
protein.
a protein shake or something
Protein,
like that.
yeah,
Okay.
shaker bar.
what do you eat for breakfast? Usually.
I have my.
Sorry, was that too
My
personal?
at work eating schedule is.
Oh wait, so sorry. 3 o'clock. What time do you get there?
I get there at 4:30
4:30.
So
Now, do you try to set the? Well, no, you're leaving at 12, so you're not doing the
the night
afternoon ones.
before sets up.
You're right. Okay.
So I set up last night for this morning. So then between the 5 and 6, I have a protein bar. Sometime before the 8:45, I'll eat my overnight oats, and then I'll have another bar before I leave in an apple or a banana.
So
You
that
said
kind of,
overnight oats.
Overnight oats.
Okay.
so that kind of answers my. I was wondering, as a trainer, how do you, and head trainer, and so you're typically doing the explaining, but how do you manage your energy all throughout? I mean, your job is to.
Have
Fake
energy.
it until
Yes.
you make it. I don't know.
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. It's just eating enough. And if you haven't eaten enough, then I personally start to get hangry. And so like
Okay.
people irritate me more when they're not
That would
listening.
be very scary.
And so I just make sure that I eat. I'm a nicer
Mm-hmm.
person if I eat.
Okay.
And I have a cup of coffee every single morning that usually lasts me until about noon.
I'm going to try that tomorrow morning. See how it goes.
I also put
Can't
protein
hurt.
in my coffee.
Okay, like a protein shake, like a powder.
A powder, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then you guys know what a frother is?
Yes. Yes. We,
It's a
we have
little.
one. I've
It's
never
like a
used
little
it.
whisk, like you hit the button and it spins. That's how.
Oh, that's
That's how I
cool.
still. That's how I start.
Is
my
it
coffee.
like portable then? You bring that with you? Or?
I have two. One in my
Okay.
purse and one at home.
That's cool.
And I get made fun of every day for it.
Oh, you
For
actually have
frothing.
it.
It's in my purse.
For frothing. What is she doing? She's frothing her coffee. I don't know.
And I froth my protein shakes too, so everyone makes fun of me. It's fine.
But
That's
it works.
cool though.
But it works.
Yeah, it works for me.
Does it make it seem
What's
more
the-
commercial?
what's to
Like
make fun of?
It's more like
Feels like I made it homemade right there.
nice. It's like it's fresher.
It's literally so
That's awesome.
All right, so I'm going to put you on the spot again.
Okay.
So give us 3 qualities that every good trainer should have.
Confidence.
Okay.
Confidence, absolutely confidence. Knowledge, and the ability to be fun.
I like
I
that.
would say are the 3. Like you have to know what you're doing. You have to have the confidence to know what you have and how to pronounce it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ability to have fun, but also as I am a drill sergeant, as much as I am fun.
Yes.
So it's still fun. You still want to come back, but also like you're going to get your booty handed to you in a very strict, strategic way
Okay.
while you're there.
I like that you have the confidence to like speak into our lives. Like, you need to be here on time. You need to be listening. And if you don't really take this seriously, you're not going to see
Right.
the results that you're hoping
Maybe we need Taylor to come on Wednesdays. What do you think?
on.
What happens on Wednesdays?
It's when
our
we need
sales
the,
meetings.
Yeah, it's when we need the whip cracked.
Listen, people.
Yeah.
I was talking to this lady and she had brought her friend in and she was like at the end of her trial and she said, oh, they brought the cold closer in.
Mm-hmm.
And that was me. So people are scared
Solid.
of me. People
Yeah.
they're like, you're scary. Good. You can not like me for 45 minutes and you can like me after.
I wouldn't use the word scary, but I would definitely use the word confident in a productive way.
Mm-hmm.
Like you obviously know what you're doing and you're not afraid to point out when we don't know what we're doing and how we should be approaching it. So I think that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So
That is cool.
Confidence is key.
It is.
If you don't have it, people will eat you alive.
So I have another question for you.
Okay.
Okay. So what would cause you to have a bad day?
Oh, interesting.
What would cause me to have a bad day? Well, if somebody said something to me that I didn't like.
Okay.
But as we have talked about before, I read the book called The Four Agreements, and you don't take things personally. So
like
imagine
that.
if I was spoken another language and I was just laying it on you. Like I was just saying the worst of the worst of the worst about you, but you didn't understand a lick I said because you didn't speak the language I was speaking. You can't get offended, right?
Right.
You're like, I have no idea what this lady's saying. She's crazy. But if I was speaking to you in English, then you would understand and then you would take it personally. But I was saying the exact same thing. Does that make sense?
Totally.
So don't take it personally. If I'm going to say something to you that hurts your feelings, I'm probably having a bad day. And the only reason you would take it personally is if you actually believe what I was saying to you. So if I called you fat and ugly, you're like, damn,
Yeah, but you never.
I am fat and ugly. You'd only believe that if you truly believed you were fat and ugly.
You've never said anything to us that was, at least in
That
my
isn't
opinion,
already true.
Well, that was offensive or anything. I mean, your talks are always really cool. And so another thing that I really like about F45 is that the trainers take time at the end of the class to, talk about mindset, talk about some health or wellness topic that's maybe not directly related to the workout we just did, but that's designed to get you to think, beyond those walls and how to approach your day and everything like that. And you're really good at that.
Thank you.
Give us, do you remember what the one was this morning? The quote was
I don't
this
remember
morning?
the one from this morning, but the one yesterday was check yourself.
So I saw, so tell me, elaborate on that.
The intention was to talk for myself, to check your circle, because what you accept is what you turn into be, and the people you surround yourself with are what you end up acting like, right? So if you're around people that make you feel like crap, you're gonna feel like crap all the time. But if you surround yourself with motivating people, like I was saying yesterday, then you'll be motivated, right? And then you'll get around somebody who's not motivated, and you're like, yeah, I don't want to spend any more time around you unless I can then change your mindset to say, now I want you to be motivating, and then it's a domino effect. I change you, you change them, they change another person, and so on and so forth. But check yourself. Like I saw a guy last night, he was doing this, like shaking his head during the workout. I was like, come on, check yourself. You got 30 seconds, let's go. So.
I've had those moments, but maybe I've hidden them.
Most people do. They just
I go in the corner.
I definitely have this worst
I can't
tail.
do
Where
this.
is she right now? She's noticing that. She's seeing my expression like, oh man, this sucks
I
right
also
now.
tell
She can't see me right
all
now.
my clients, I see everything. I pretty much see everything.
Yeah.
So.
Like this morning, we after the workout was done. So another thing, you guys, I don't know if it's an F45 part of the program or not, but a lot of core exercise. So after the whole, the main exercise is done, it's like, okay, we're going to do 3 minutes of like abs or core or something. And one of the exercises this morning was hip lift, where you have your legs straight up in the air.
yeah.
And I know that I was one of the bents, but I mean, you pointed out that everybody was, their legs were bent.
You're a bent. Oh.
But I love that. I wanted to give you that feedback also. That I think that's awesome, because having a strong core is. So my lower back, I'm generally healthy, but I've had this little muscle spasm thing, and over the years, every once in a while, like my back goes out, and I'm like walking like funky for 2 weeks, and it really stinks. I've not had that happen since I started coming to F45, and I think a lot. I mean, it's all the exercising, that we do there, but I think the core stuff is awesome. So I really love it when we do that. Just throwing that out there.
And everybody complains, but they stay back. Like they have the option to
Because they know they need it.
They can always leave. Like six-pack season is coming in Arizona.
it
It's
is
sooner than
coming.
the rest of the world.
And
so.
for our listeners who are wondering, no, everybody is not super pretty and fit at F45.
No.
It's people like me and who are not Olympians, right? And so we all need that kind of exercising, I think, to make the whole thing work.
Yeah,
Yeah. So thank you for that.
absolutely.
So
That's
getting
why we're
back to
there.
the book,
What book?
the four
Agreements?
Ooh.
Yes, the four agreements.
I want
Thank
to
you.
read that.
You should. It's
So
a
what are the
simple
four agreements?
read. Of course, I knew you were going to ask me that, and I pulled it up before I left, so I could tell you. It was to be not make any assumptions.
Okay.
Always do your best. Am I allowed to pull my phone out?
Sure.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't even know where it is. Be impeccable with your word.
Ooh, impeccable
Being
with
impeccable
your word.
with your word.
Yep.
Always do your best, And then Kyle would be so ashamed of me right now. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best.
Okay.
Who's
the author? Do you know? Did you write that one down?
His name is Don Miguel Ruiz.
Don Miguel Ruiz. Okay.
Yep, it's literally like a finger width wide, and it talks more about like where these types of things come from. But if you can actually embody all those things, like if you can be impeccable with your word and always do what you say you're going to do, then people will respect you more, right? If you don't take it personally, literally your whole life will change. I used to be somebody that if you looked at me wrong, I'd be like, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do to make you mad? Absolutely.
That's surprising. Okay.
I have changed a lot.
Okay.
A lot since I met Kyle and Sunny. And then always do your best no matter what. To be 1% better than you were yesterday. Like tomorrow you may break down and be sick, right? You may not feel good, you're in bed, but always do your best then too. It may not be as good as your best today or your best the next day, but do your best in that moment to do what you can for who you are.
But there's something awesome
Great
that
stuff.
comes from, even like you said, even if your best today wasn't as good as it was tomorrow, if you know, just knowing that you didn't leave it on the table, it feels really good. You still feel accomplished on some level.
Even if you didn't feel like you did anything, you still did your best.
So I have a book for you as well, and I told Kyle, if you're watching this, I've got a copy for you as well. It's called The Go Giver, because I feel like you and Kyle and F45 really embodies the Go Giver mentality, especially the effort that you guys put into each day that we're there and each routine. But then again, like I said earlier, trying to, talk into our lives and give us some mental food for thought as well as we leave. It's really a go-giver mentality, which is trying to find ways to have as much of an impact on as many people as you can without really worrying about what your immediate payment is going to be. And so I wanted to throw that out there. I don't know if you've read that book yet or not? Go Giver?
No, I was late today. No, I have not read it yet.
Yeah, it's the 5 rules for stratospheric success, and it revolves around this idea of giving more than you are
Giving more in value
than
you receive in payment. Yeah.
And that eventually, if you do that, you're gonna impact many more people. You're gonna serve a lot more people, and you'll bring back everything that you could have hoped for and a lot more. And I feel like that you guys are on that track with F45. This is personal because I've never stuck with the gym before, and I absolutely love F45, and I don't see myself going anywhere on that forever. It works for me, which means it should work for a lot of our listeners who are like me and haven't really found a consistent fitness routine or a gym to go to. You should definitely check out F45.
It's for everybody. We have an 11-year-old kid that came last night and a couple people in their 60s.
That's awesome.
Wow. Yeah, that's the full spectrum right there.
Yeah, my 15-year-old, so for scheduling reasons, my wife goes to the F45 at the Steel Yard, and our 15-year-old goes with her once in a while, and he's starting to get into it. He's starting to recognize that it really helps him, especially with his mountain bike racing, to be to doing the weight training. So, just riding a mountain bike is awesome. It's a great, cardio exercise and kind of whole body sort of resistance exercise for sure, especially when you're climbing. But I'm excited to see him grow into it. And I've got my 13-year-old who I plan to bring with me. Is there an age requirement?
No, you know your kid better than us.
Okay.
So if they look like a baby deer, then they probably shouldn't be there.
Okay.
But if you think that they can confidently, or if you are confident in their ability to move, then they can absolutely come try it. If they come in and we're like, they should probably wait.
Okay.
But you know them better than we do.
So I've got my 13-year-old. I'm thinking in terms of him because he doesn't go to school until about 8:30, and so I could absolutely bring him with me. And he's been asking me about it. He's special needs, so I'm trying to figure out. It's like I'm hesitant to bring him because I don't want it to be a complete flop or discourage him from wanting to pursue regular fitness and hopefully just going and coming home every morning and saying good morning to them because I just got back from the gym is a good example. But I want him to actually do it. So, what suggestion do you have for me in that regard?
If you think that F45 is going to be too much that he'll quit, have him try something else.
Okay.
Even if that's just you coming home and saying, this is what I did today. Like pick 3 or 4 of what you did today and take that home and have him do it.
Okay.
So that way when
That's
he
a
comes
good
in,
one.
it's not new.
Like turn the music on really loud.
Really loud, as loud as it can go.
She'll come over and yell at him for you.
I'll yell at you to then implement to him.
Or you could record
Okay.
it.
I could
You
that
could just
too.
record the message,
Okay.
send it to Brian.
I could channel my inner Taylor when you know. Are you listening? Are you getting this? I don't
When-
want to have to go over this again.
Dad, what is that wig you're wearing? That doesn't look like your hair, Dad.
There was
If you're not on time, you're late.
amen. If you're not early or
If
late.
you're not early, you're late.
Two things. One, somebody actually bought a Targaryen wig and dressed up like me one
No
day.
way.
Do you know who the Targaryens are?
No.
From Game of Thrones?
That is tremendous.
Not a game of
Disregard that. Never mind. He knows what I'm talking about. So she had a long blonde wig. They wore it down to the scrunchie and everything. Like we literally looked like twins. And then one day we have a whiteboard that we write our quotes on, and I put WWTD. I wasn't trying to be Jesus, but I said, what would Taylor do? Like in every instance in your life, what would Taylor be telling you to do?
That is tremendous.
So don't eat that last piece of chocolate. You don't need it.
That's a big problem that I have. I love chocolate.
Same.
I'm a bit of a. I have a. Huge
So how do you avoid this stuff then?
You
don't
Just
buy
don't
it.
buy
You
it,
don't
and then
buy
it's
it.
not in the house?
Well, but like I've had Girl Scout cookies in my kitchen for weeks. And I just eat
But
like
I mean,
two at a
okay,
time.
so do you guys have this problem where the stuff just keeps showing up though?
No.
Okay, so we have this problem.
Well, I have-
the
yeah.
stuff just shows up.
Where does it come from?
3 sets of grandparents.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this stuff just shows up in the
Yeah.
house. I always tell Sarah, I'm
Garbage.
like, what we're going to end up doing is I'm going to get one of those giant like waste management boxes, you know, that they have at the events.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to put it right in the middle of our kitchen. And for all the stuff that just comes into the house, I'm just going to throw it in this box.
That's perfect.
I
love
said,
it.
we're going to see exactly how much stuff comes into this house
Yeah.
that we don't need. And so it's just going to be in the big waste management box.
You
What do you
want?
think?
Do it.
I think that's great.
Think
Yeah,
about it.
why
Think
not?
about your house. Like think about how much stuff, not just junk food, but just stuff that comes into the house. It lands on the counter. Nobody knows what to do with it. There's nowhere to put it.
Yep.
And it just sits there.
So I started just throwing it away, like just immediately.
I love it.
Like take like the dart guns for example.
Okay.
Like I'm finding them everywhere, and I'm like,
The
guys,
darts or the whole gun?
the darts.
Oh, okay.
But I figured by leaving the guns behind, if they didn't have the ammo anymore, that they would change their ways. Like, pick them up. I'm like, guys, just so you
No,
know, if I find a dart, it's going in the garbage immediately. I'm not even going to talk to you
They'll
about
just
it.
start throwing the guns at each other is what they'll do.
No,
You
no.
don't need the ammo.
Yeah, see what you're missing out on?
But
No.
one, it's a blessing and a curse. But our kids love trick or treating for Halloween and filling up. I gave them the pillowcase idea, from growing up.
Oh, yeah.
They'll binge on it for a day and not get anywhere near through all of it, and then they won't eat any more of it.
Did
So-
you know you can give it to dentists for money?
Yes, I do know that, Taylor. But the problem is I'm a real sucker for the little Snickers bars and little Twix bars. And,
Yes.
Well, you
And
can't
so-
just have one. You have.
You can. Well, there's a left and a right. I mean, you can't leave
I
them
have
hanging
to try
there.
both.
So as it turns out, I never have to go buy candy.
Well, apparently one side has more something. One side has more wafer or something, and the other side has
conning you.
more caramel. Well, how are we
con.
going to know if we don't try it? I don't know.
I can't
This is
disagree with
It's
that.
a trap. It's just a
Only
trap.
Twix knows.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll 5 little Snickers bars later. It's like, what did I just do?
You just ate
It was so
500
good.
I did the
calories.
same
It was
thing.
so good, but
It's peanut M&Ms, and then I run out, and then my dad-in-law, who I love dearly, he brings me like a 1 pound bag of peanut M&Ms. What am I supposed to do with these?
but I know intuitively that's why.
I have to eat them. I don't know.
I know. I mean, year and a half into F45, and you can't see my six pack. It's there, but that's why
It's buried under
That's
all those
exactly
Twix
why.
bars. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Snickers.
I generally do protein shake after the workout, and between my wife and our nanny person, I mean, we eat dinner really healthy. It's it's chicken, it's fish, it's occasionally beef, but not very often. A lot of vegetables, but it's lunchtime and grazing and the snacks, and I tend to do that when I'm home. After dinner, I can't just stop. Like you say, you don't like to eat. I can't stop eating for some reason. I don't know why.
It's stress management, probably.
I blame it on my metabolism that's really, really high because of F45 and riding my mountain bike.
He's
and,
hungry. He's just a hungry guy.
and I did it, initially, like when the fitness effect kind of took hold after maybe 2 months, 3 months or so of coming to 45. I felt like I could eat anything and I was losing weight. I wasn't gaining. But then I've like just stalled. Like I'm stuck, where I'm not really losing weight. I know I'm actually gaining a little weight because I'm sure I'm building muscle, but I'm also not losing the fat because my diet is not amazing.
Well, how long did you say you're doing at 45?
About 1.5 years now.
And your body's used to that now. So a 500 calorie burn this morning is normal.
Okay.
So what are some substitutions?
Wait, hang on a second. So that's normal. So my body, so what are you saying? So
now to be able to eat more, you have to burn more. Because what you said your metabolism is used to that.
So the only way I could ride my mountain bike more often outside the gym,
or you could eat less.
Or I could eat less.
Well, every calorie counts. The only calorie that doesn't count is water. Like the mints at the gym are 5 calories a piece.
So I used to grab one every single morning.
What?
Yeah.
I think it was
gum. It says 0 calories, but like
I thought they were 15
big
calories.
Wigs that say it's 0 calories. If it's within a 10% interval, you can call it lower than what it is.
Yep.
So 0 calories is like 10.
But I thought it was actually 15 calories each.
I think 2 or 3 is 15.
Okay. So like for probably the first 6 months or so, I was grabbing like 2 or 3 on my way out. Mm-hmm. And Mindy finally called me out one day. She goes, do you have enough mints, Brian? I was like, oh. And then I looked it up and I thought it was 15. So I've only occasionally will I grab one now.
But people, they just think that it's just a calorie here and a calorie there when those calories probably equal 200 to 300.
Mm-hmm. And you might as well eat a donut.
They're a little more than 300, unless it's a pretty lame donut.
Wasn't a donut like 1,500 calories?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Like
times
1,500 mints. Brian, what is in your mouth? Looks like you got a mouthful of marbles. Just mints. Just mints from the gym.
Okay, Taylor, I'm going to quiz you here real quick.
Okay. Really quick, before we do that, though.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so back to the junk food.
Okay.
So what would be some easy substitutions for the junk food?
What kind of junk food?
The Snickers bars and the Twix bars and the peanut M&Ms.
Great question.
Love sweets. I love ice cream. I will eat it all day, every day.
Okay.
I right now am a huge fan of chocolate chips.
Just
the chocolate chips.
Chocolate chips.
And Greek yogurt. That's what I have.
Like you mix that together?
Like ice cream. It's a fake ice cream sundae in my brain. And so I have the
dark chocolate or
portion
or milk
size of
chocolate.
regular
I'm
chocolate
thinking like
chips.
Greek yogurt, like the bitter stuff.
Yeah, like vanilla.
No,
Greek
but it's
yogurt.
like vanilla flavored, right? So
Right, with chocolate chips.
And when will you eat? Like a between breakfast lunch kind
That's
of
all.
snack?
That's my after dinner.
After dinner.
So
it's
like
a dessert.
that's your
So it's
trick
like a
dessert.
That's my trick dessert. And then
What else?
This is good.
What else?
Yeah, I think I might actually try that.
Like like I eat a lot of carrots. We eat a lot of fruit. Like when you want to grab your water bottle instead, and drink until you can't drink anymore, and then you don't want it.
Just water.
Just water. That's all I drink. And then I told another girl this week, I said, when you want to eat something and you don't want to eat it, you know you shouldn't eat it, walk or go out or take a lot of water or go out for a walk. 1, you probably need more steps, and 2, you probably need more water.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So with the no shower happy hour, what do you do?
Well, no alcohol? You already know it's coming. You didn't say oh crap. You knew yesterday it was no shower happy hour. So us as trainers, me personally, I would have taken a lighter intake of calories that day, like just the bare minimum.
Okay.
So I can do what I want.
Okay.
At dinner, and it's not like I'm going to eat the whole plate of nachos. Take a few, maybe a few more, and then leave the rest for everybody else.
Okay. So as a trainer, do you do alcohol or no alcohol? Mm-hmm. You do?
We do everything. I'm a firm believer in eating whatever you want. But does it fit?
Okay. So substitute the candy for fruit. Mm-hmm. Okay. Don't eat all the nachos.
Correct.
Stay away from the Twickers, the Twix and the Snickers bars.
That's my problem.
Now, what about the peanut M&Ms?
Peanut M&Ms?
I mean, that's my weakness.
If you get a pound bag, hear me out. Put them in containers or plastic bags.
Okay.
Like the little bags that you get. But you make them if you're given a whole pound. If not, you'll just eat until there's none left. I ate a bag of Sun Chips the other day, the whole thing. All of a sudden, it was gone.
Because you can do that with some
You
chips.
can
They're
do the
so
same thing
good.
with peanut M&Ms.
Yes, you can.
So you just have to
I promise that's
control.
possible.
I've been there.
So
Yeah, it's bad.
So, Taylor, okay. You are an experienced head trainer, so you must have an idea of the kinds of questions that people ask about fitness. So I looked up, I'm going to see how many of these you know. 5 most Googled fitness questions. What are
how many calories are in a donut? Is that one of them?
I hope not.
No, not one of them.
Top 5 fitness Googled questions.
Yes,
What is a burpee? How to do a push-up? How do I get stronger?
So none of these are actually like move specific. How do we get stronger is one of them. Yep.
How do I get stronger?
Yep.
How do I lose fat?
How do we lose? Yep.
Does ginger help?
Does it?
Wow.
I'm telling you, all it is calories in and calories out. There might be a trick here or a trick there that works for you or him or me, but just because it works for you doesn't mean it's going to work for me. Trial and error and energy in versus energy out.
Huh. Okay. So ginger, though, specifically, is that actually a healthy?
I mean, it's good for you.
Okay.
Was that on the
I always
list?
heard that. No, well, not
Oh, okay.
specifically ginger, but
Okay.
Well, like it's supposed to be a fat burner, right? If you boil ginger in water and then drink it, it's supposed to 8 ounces a day is supposed to help burn fat.
how much protein do
Or
we?
apple cider vinegar.
Right.
Same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Just stop eating. You'll never outrun your fork, ever. Never.
That's perfect.
I love these Taylorisms. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
How much protein do I need?
Your lean body mass in grams.
Translate for our listeners who are not head trainers.
If I weigh 150 pounds, my lean body mass, I'm also probably a bit more lean than other 150 pound year olds. 100. So if I weigh 150 pounds and my lean mass is 100, then I need 100 grams per day to maintain the amount of muscle that I have. If I want to build muscle, then I have to eat more protein. So I
Okay.
eat 125. I currently eat 150
Okay.
a day. And there's 20 grams in one protein bar. You both looking at me like I talk in Spanish.
No, I have protein. That's one of my.
I'm just realizing how
when I'm home anyway.
much I'm not eating.
So one of the questions, and Jay had mentioned this earlier, is how do I gain weight?
Eat. But
is there anything to stay
But
aw-
don't eat empty calories.
Okay, so is there, what do you stay away from if you're trying to gain weight? Maybe is the better question.
Stuff that has little to no protein. So eat
Like-
more whole foods.
Okay.
Stuff that,
Less carbs.
I mean, you can eat carbs. Carbs are good. They're great. That's how you burn energy. That's how you continue to fuel. But if it has 100 grams of carbs and 1 gram of protein, what's the point?
It's tasty, probably.
Well, like for instance, pizza rolls. Pizza
Yeah,
rolls technically have 1 gram of protein per nugget, technically, but
kind of a waste.
kind of a waste
Okay.
for the calorie count.
Question number 5, which I think is actually tailored for F45, is, and it's got the acronym here. What are the best HIIT workouts? High intensity interval training. I'm guessing is what that stands for.
Yeah.
So what are the best ones?
Any. The worst workout you could do is the one you didn't do. Just get up and move. Whether it be strength or walking. If you're not doing it, do something. If you're already doing something, do more. And if you're already doing more, do better. So.
Last question I have for you. How can I so I talked to a lot of people about F45, and they seem to really get engaged when I'm telling them all the reasons why I like it, but I can never get them over the hump to actually come join me. And sometimes, I mean, the most common excuse is, oh, you go at what time? Yeah, no chance.
Oh, so great. We have an open schedule. We also have a lunch class and an evening class.
Well, I tell them that, but it's like now their excuse is, well,
They want somebody to go with, is probably what it is.
How can I get somebody to come?
Go to a different time. You go to a different time with them. One, it's scary to walk in. Do you remember what it felt like to walk in the first time?
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I knew my wife. I didn't know anybody else. But
Right, but imagine if you didn't know anybody.
okay.
Overwhelming.
And you're not
music's
feeling so
overwhelming.
great about yourself,
Right.
but you're there, which is
The music's
the
loud.
hardest
There's
part.
all these
It's just
TVs.
getting there.
Yeah, it's very, very overwhelming for somebody to walk in for the first time. But that's why there's coaches there to explain what the heck is going to happen in 45 minutes.
Well, that's why it was. I mean, I felt relieved actually because I didn't have to think about what I was going to do. That was always one of my biggest hang-ups with going to a gym by myself was, what do I do? Like okay, so today's arm day. Okay, so what do I do? Okay, tomorrow's leg day. I could never really, I felt like I was having to memorize a routine, and I never really could get my arms around what I should be doing for me. And I tried like the gym, the temporary personal training sessions kind of thing, and that never really went anywhere. And so
because they didn't change your mindset.
So there wasn't the mindset component at all. Yeah.
The people that you're trying to get to the gym aren't fed up enough yet. They don't hate themselves for who they are. And I shouldn't say that's where you have to be when you come in. But if you don't not like yourself enough, you're not going to change it. If that makes sense.
It does. I mean,
well, sometimes I think
it goes with making any major changes in your life, right? You have to really.
Well, usually something has to happen.
Right. Like, I
something's
have
got
high blood
to give.
pressure.
Yeah, I've got, or the doctor's like, you have to you have to start some sort of a fitness plan.
Right.
Like now you don't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Or there's been some other major event, and now, I'm paying the price because of all these years of no physical activity.
Mm-hmm.
What are 2 things that you were born with and you'll have for the rest of your life?
There's too many of those to answer, I think.
I don't know.
You weren't given a job. You had to go find that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You were given a body and a mind. And if you don't take care of those 2 things, then you're living just to live. You're not living to your fullest potential.
Light bulb.
Mm-hmm. Bing.
Cha-ching.
Awesome. What else do you got?
What else do you want to know?
This is good stuff.
It is.
I think so. But I'm also very, very passionate about it. So it's what I went to school for, and it's what I eat, sleep, and breathe.
Yeah.
So, Taylor, how'd you get into this?
I, in high school, wanted to be a computer engineer.
Okay.
I took an anatomy class in high school, and I was like, the human body is amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. How all 3 of us are 99.9% of the same, yet you both are different heights. I'm in the middle. You have blue eyes, you have brown eyes, I have blue eyes, but we're all different, right? Like your genetic makeup is very different than mine. And so I went to school thinking I was going to be a physical therapist. Went to school, went to apply, and I got denied from every school that I applied to. They didn't even offer an interview. And so I graduated and didn't have a job, and my doctor at the time said, hey, I know this company, like go have an internship with them, and they might even offer you a job. So I went, called them. It was a nonprofit company that did one-on-one personal training with those who were going through active chemo or radiation treatment. So cancer patients who needed movement in their lives.
And this is in Ohio?
Correct.
Okay.
In Dayton, Ohio. It was called Maple Tree Cancer Alliance for anybody who's listening who happens to live in Dayton. But they came in once a week and did 1 hour of movement, even though most of the doctors would have told them no. So it was getting them up and moving.
Why would the doctors have told them no?
Like, no, they can't, or no, they shouldn't?
No, you shouldn't on the medication that you're on. It could, it could be detrimental to you, like your blood pressure, blah, blah, blah. So most doctors would tell them no. And so what do you do?
I find that surprising. I mean, I'm not a physician, but I would think circulation.
Into health and wellness.
Okay.
Most doctors, do you guys have fit doctors or overweight doctors?
I like to not have any doctors. But
I mean, me too. But I feel like you have to practice what you preach.
Yeah.
And most of the time, those doctors are making way, way, way lots of money, and they're working crazy hours. And if health and wellness is important to them, then they'll make it a priority. But back to what I was saying was, most doctors would say no. And now it's coming about, and it's coming into the light that it's good for movement no matter who you are or where you are in your walk of life. And even just the getting out of your house and away from the people who are taking care of you is so good for your mental health. I was almost more of a, like a friend to them more than a trainer. I still talk to them.
That's awesome. And I imagine it really did help those people
absolutely.
A lot.
Yeah. I talk to like at least one of them every month.
Wow.
On the phone.
That's great.
I've like one of my best friends is a 72-year-old woman.
That's great.
Have you looked into doing that out here at all? Are there any opportunities?
I wanted to bring that job out here, but the hospital system is so slow. and so slow to accept it.
Not
and
that you have all this extra time to
right, yeah,
now
just,
go do that.
Yeah, just
on
go
the
do
side.
free work for just open my own clinic.
Yeah,
But it has to be like supported and it has to be paid for, and
Yeah.
it was free to them. So some cancer treatments is millions and millions and millions of dollars, and it's even more money to ask for a personal training program for them. So it was actually free. It was a nonprofit company, so we worked all on donations.
Very cool.
And then I moved here, and you guys heard that from here. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, Taylor, it's been awesome.
It's
been an hour.
I really
This has
appreciate
been a
you. It
great
probably
conversation.
has. You know,
Right,
we-
close enough.
Let's
It
see.
does go by
Let's see.
fast.
Oh yeah. We're probably an hour and 15 minutes now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's
That
was
just that's
fun.
the way it happens. You know, we have these
What'd you
great
guys learn?
conversations.
Lots.
I learned that
One thing.
One thing, salads.
Okay.
Stay
You're gonna-
away from
And-
the Twix bars.
No,
Just stay away.
things. The salads and the Greek yogurt with chocolate morsels.
Right, but
That's
it's
my
not.
Does it matter
Takeaway.
if it's dark
It's
chocolate
not
or milk?
chocolate chips.
No,
it's chocolate chips.
like the little morsels. the
Yeah,
little-
I know, but
yeah.
it's not 2 handfuls of chocolate chips.
It's how many?
It's
It's not
as
the
many.
bag of
How many
chocolate
you
chips.
actually putting in
Correct.
there?
It's not as many chocolate chips as you want, whatever the serving size is.
Okay.
Okay. Does it matter if it's dark or milk?
No.
I always say, why would you eat dark chocolate if you can eat milk chocolate? It's so much better. But
Dark
I heard
chocolate's
it was
good
like,
for you.
wasn't it supposed
So
to be
is
like
wine.
healthy? Something like that? I don't know.
Exercises too.
Okay. A whole
Exercise is
bag
awesome.
of dark chocolate chips? Probably
Yeah.
not so good.
You're going to be spending a lot of money at the dentist.
well, Taylor, thank you for being an awesome sport.
Yes,
and
thank you.
letting me
Absolutely.
put you on the spot a couple times and being an awesome guest on our show.
Thank you.
To our listeners, we really appreciate you sticking with us. If you loved, or let's say if you even just enjoyed our conversation
good.
today, would you smash that thumbs up button and consider subscribing? And if you want to be alerted when the next episode comes up, hit that bell and you'll know. And F45, ladies and gentlemen, you should definitely check it out. If you're like me and you're in your 30s or 40s, I'm in my 40s, I'll be honest. It's an amazing opportunity to get an incredible workout, meet really cool people, have a community of friends, find motivation that you never would have had before going to one of these larger gyms on your own. So highly encourage everybody to check it out. Taylor's an amazing head trainer, and
Thank
I
you.
feel lucky that I get to go at 6:15 in the morning and have good people there. So thank you very much, Taylor.
Absolutely.
Thanks again, Taylor.
Absolutely.